Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are stopping by for the first time, welcome. My name is Ife Artistry. So in today's video, I'll be teaching you guys how I created this traditional bridal makeup on my beautiful model. So if this is what you're interested in, keep on watching and let's get started. Okay guys, so I already posted a video of how I did the skin prep. So if you want to watch that, you can go back to my old videos and see how I created the skin prep. Okay guys, so now over to the foundation. I'm using the Nuella Cosmetics foundation. I can't really place the shade right now, so I'm going to be leaving that on this description bar below. So I placed the foundation on her face. I was not really using much, so I shaked and matched her skin. So I get the foundation and place it on her face, and then I'm blending it with my beauty blender. And now it's a damn beauty blender. And now remember what I said before earlier in all my old videos, blending of foundation is actually the key. You have to blend into the skin as much as you can, because in makeup blending is the key actually. So I blend in, and I blend in one place at a time. I take it gradually. I don't blend this place and I move over to the other place. So I make sure I blend a particular place at a time before I go over to the next place. Okay guys, so the blending, and after that then I went into the concealer. I'm using the Shape Tarte concealer. Again, I can't really place the shade, but I am going to be leaving that in the description bar below. It's actually an overly light shade. I want the beginning of her under eyes and these places I'm placing it to actually pop. So after that, I'm using my aucoin. I think it's in shade 011 x 011, I guess. So I'm placing that on her face, in the under eyes. This actually supposed to be her shade, her concealer shade, or just maybe a bit darker than her actual highlight shade actually. So I'm placing that on her face, on the highlighted areas, the under eyes, the jaw, the cupid bow, the forehead, and then her nose bridge. So I'm just placing them there, and then after the placement, I'm going to be blending in with my beauty blender as well. Okay guys, so after that I'm going in with the beauty blender. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be pushing it in, like blending it in. Remember, the concealers I use, they're actually full coverage concealers, so just blend in and you're going to have your coverage. You're going to have, it gives you what you want. Okay, so my model actually came with this lash extension done. Okay, so I was thinking that it was just like normal lashes, but when she came I realized that it's actually lash extension, so I couldn't remove that, because like honestly I don't really prefer or like working when the client or a model has lashes on. So it's actually, you can see that it's actually giving me discomfort, but I still have to do what I have to do. Okay guys, so moving on, we are just blending and blending and blending the concealers under the eyes. Just enjoy the process. Okay guys, so I'm going to be contouring her face with the foundation. It's actually a darker shade of foundation from the Nuella Cosmetics brand. I can't really place the shade because actually it has been a bit while that I did this makeup. I didn't really, and I'm doing this voiceover in my house, not in the studio, so I can't really, you know, be placing the shades here, but I'm going to be putting them in the description bar below. Okay, so just, you know, run the contour on the forehead and the place, because we are trying to create a definition on the face. Remember, the contour actually gives the face the structure that it should have. Okay, so I didn't really want to go on with a very dark shade of contour. Yeah, I didn't want to really go, because like my mother is light, she's light skinned, so I don't want my contour to be really, you know. Okay guys, so after that I'm going to be creating the white shape on her nose, just to make a nose contour. So I'm going to just be creating a white shape starting from the beginning of the brows, and, you know, drawing it down towards the nose bridge, just creating an illusion, like I always tell people. So, and equally, when I use my brush on the nose to make a contour, like I use beauty blender to also blend it out, because I don't want a harsh line. You know, I always tell people that nose contour is just an illusion that we create. You don't come and, you know, just draw a line there and leave it there. No, just create an illusion. Okay, moving on, I'm going to use the liquid lip stains from Becharmageless Cosmetics as my blush. Just place it at the high point of the cheek and then blend it out. I don't equally like to have harsh lines either from the contour or from the blush. I blend it into the contour, and equally I'm going to blend the highlight into the blush. I just make sure that there is no demarcation, no harsh line whatsoever, because, you know, there should not be any this is one of the issues and problems people have. Make sure that everything you are placing on the face, everything you are doing, you blend seamlessly. There is no single demarcation or any harsh line for any reason whatsoever. Okay, so moving on, then you can see how the blush just blended, and, you know, I love using these liquid lip stains for all this. I don't know, but it gives me more of what I want, you know. So after doing that, then I'm going to be blending the remaining because like when I did my highlights, I didn't really blend everything in at a go. So right now I'm going to be blending it in, you know, the remaining ones I didn't blend. I'm going to blend it in and make sure I remove any creasing lines before I begin to set the face. Now I'm done with doing that. I'm setting the face now with the Merak Cosmetics setting powder, of course my favorite setting powder. So I'm going to be setting the face with the Merak Cosmetics setting powder, and that is it. Just set with my brush. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be using the Nuella Cosmetics powder palette to set the face. Okay, yeah, so I'm using that to set the face. I'm going to use that to set the rest of the face. Okay guys, so after that I'm going to be taking a shade from the Nuella Cosmetics powder palette to contour the nose. Okay, so just, you know, I already created the shape, or I don't know, I already created what I want when I was doing the liquid product, like when I was doing the liquid contour. So now that I've done that, I'm doing the powder one now. That shape is already there. I'm just going to go through with the line. I already see something there. I'm just, you know, going to run through that because I already have something there already. So moving on, I'm going to be making a blush with my Juvias place. I don't know why I have other blush palettes, but when I'm in love with a product, I don't know why I have to be using that product. I don't really know why. It's not as if I don't have other products. Like, all right, so I'm going to be using that to add blush and, you know, I re-emphasize on my contour because it has a dark or a burnt orange that is really beautiful and nice. Okay guys, so don't really mind my messy hands. I don't know, but I don't think I can actually change or stop, you know, messing my hand up when I'm making up or something. Okay guys, so moving on to the brows, I'm going to be using the edge control to set my brows, or, you know, to brush the hairs of the brows up and get them ready. You know, I don't like doing brows. If you have been watching my videos, I don't like doing brows without, you know, slicking down the hairs. I have to slick down the hairs. It makes my brows look more nice and more organized and all that. So after doing that, remember I'm going to be using the setting powder from Beauty by Eddie to set the brows. It's gonna set the brows in a place, at a place or something, and then before I continue. Okay, so doing that, after doing that, just once I just set, I dust it out immediately. I don't allow it to stay there for a while. Like, once I set, I dust it out, and then I have to move on to drawing my brows. Okay, so I'm using the angled brush from Merak Cosmetics. My all-time favorite angled brush is a tiny angled brush, so I'm using that with my brow gel. Okay, so I'm just going to be outlining the brows with my brow gel and this angled brush. You know, just, you know, her brows is already like so nice, like it's really so, it's carved out so well, and again she did my glue blading, so it was not really hard for me to trace out the brow line or the outline, you know. So I'm done with the on that part. Then I'm going to be going over to the upper part now to continue with the outline. Okay, okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be filling out the brows now. I'm done with the outline, so I'm going to be filling out the brows. So as you know, I don't really feel like everywhere. I'm just going to just fill out any place I see space from her brows, especially when the person have like full brows. I don't like the brows being too full. I just fill out the places I see space, definitely, you know. So I don't know, but I don't like very dark brows. I like my brows natural and so, you know, feathery, if I get something like that. Okay guys, so after doing that, I'm going to be concealing the brows now with my flat brush from Merak Cosmetics, and then my my concealer. I'm using the Nuban Beauty concealer, I think in shade 02, yeah. So I think the upper part I'm going to be using the zikel concealer in nude. Yeah, I use the zikel concealer in nude to conceal the upper part and beginning of the brows and at the edge, because I wouldn't want to be using something that is light at the beginning, so that it can actually easily move into my contour. Remember, the contour is actually not bright. Okay guys, so yeah, that is it. I'm just going to continue with that until I'm okay guys, so I'm moving over to baking the face. I'm going to be, making a reverse contour on the nose. Just reverse the contour, and then, I'm baking the face with the same Merak Cosmetics setting powder in ginger. Okay, so I made the reverse contour. I'm equally making the reverse contour for the cheeks, like her cheek contour. Yeah, so I'm reversing the contour with my setting powder. Okay guys, so after doing that, I'm going to be placing her eyeshadow primer. I'm going to be placing the eyeshadow primer so that I'm going to do her eyeshadow. Okay guys, so at this point, I noticed that the eyeshadow, the lashes were actually disturbing me, but like I said, they are not things that she can remove, as they are not removable. It's not something I can remove. Okay, so I just have to manage and try and do what I have to do at that point. So what I did, I was actually trying to be dramatic and create something beautiful on the eyes, but I couldn't do that because I was trying to just get it done with, so I can leave her eyes. Okay guys, so and again, I was being scared of fallout, because if I have a lot of fallout on the eyeshadow, like on her lashes, it will be very difficult for me to actually clean out. Okay guys, so I'm moving on with the eyeshadow palette. It's the Jaclyn Hills palette volume 2. So I'm using that. I'm using the shades in it, the shades I showed you guys, to create my transition. Honestly guys, so because from the lashes I changed my mind from the eyeshadow I wanted to create, but when I was doing this transition, I didn't know the eyeshadow I was about to create. But anyway, I was ready to go with the flow, so here we go. So I'm going to do the same to the next eyes. Okay guys, so now moving on, the same eyeshadow palette. I'm using my, of course, my fluffy brush to get this pigmented eyeshadow. It's a yellow shade. I'm going to be placing that on the eyes. But guys, like, one funny thing, when I was doing that, I don't know, but this Morphe eyeshadow, I don't know if any other person notices that it's very difficult for me to bring out the pigmented shade from that palette. Like, I have to switch my brushes. I have to get this brush. Even this one I switched to was still not doing nothing. I'm telling you, it was very difficult. I can't bring out the eyeshadow. Like, I have to really scrape it. Like, I have to use something that scrape it first, you know, scrape it out. Then even at that, still, it's very difficult for me to place, for me to bring. It's not like every other, like, it's in all their shades. I don't know, this Morphe volume, no, Jaclyn Hills volume 2, I don't know if any, please tell me, let me know if I actually bought the fake one, or if I'm not using the original. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Please tell me, because like, I can't, their matte shades are superb, their pigmentation is on another level. But you see this pigmented shades, it's something else. It's something else. Like, I can't really bring out their shadows, like, I can't. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be blending out the hash lines with I think I added another shade, maybe an orange shade to blend out. I love using orange shade to actually blend things out. It makes it look more colorful and beautiful. Yes, so I'm going to do that, and then we continue moving on. Okay guys, so over to the lining. I'm going to be lining with my Zaron gel liner. Like I said before, please do not mind my messy hands. I cannot really work without messing up my hands. I don't know why. Okay guys, so I'm using this, my I don't know, it's a random brush, angled brush that I use to line. Okay, so just lining the eyes, and you know, I'm trying as much as possible not to make the liner, like, I'm trying to make it like a very simple lining, because like, I'm not fixing another lashes on that eyes. The lash extension she's wearing is really heavy. I'm not about, even though it's not as full as I want, but I was not about to fix another one on top of that. Like, had it been it's not too much like this, probably I would have tried to fix something else, but it is too much, so I was not gonna fix another thing on top. Okay guys, so after doing that, I did the under eyes. I smudged out the waterline. Okay, so but after doing that, I dust out the excess pigments that form on her face, and then I'm going to be setting that place now. I'm going to be taking out the excess setting powder I have left. Okay guys, so I'm going to be using my powder palette and my powder brush to actually re-emphasize. I'm taking out, first of all, I'm taking out the reverse contour powder, excess powder that is remaining, and then after doing that, I'm going to be retouching everything I've done already. Okay guys, so after that, I'm going to be using my cheek glaze to I don't know, I love to apply cheek glaze on her cheeks to help with the glow on her cheeks. Okay, so I'm using the cheek glaze from TM Essentials. It gives me that, you know, dewy effect look somehow. Yeah, because the cheek glaze has oil on it. Okay guys, so moving on, I was done with that. I'm going to be setting her face. I'm going to be using my Morphe setting spray to set the makeup. Okay, so after applying that on the face, I'm going to be using fan to dry everything and lock it into a place. So when I'm doing this, I have to ask the model now to like keep her face at a place and let it set into her skin. So after doing that, I'm going to be using, like before it dries up very well, I'm going to be using the beauty blender to push it in even further into the skin. Okay, yeah, so that is it basically, to make sure that there's no spray or anything that is resting on the facial hairs that she has. Okay guys, so after doing that, I'm going to be applying my glow on her cheeks, the places, you know, that I want to the glow to highlight and stuff. So I'm just going to place the glow, the places they're supposed to be, on her forehead, her jawline, the nose bridge, you know, her cheeks, and all the rest of the places that I'm supposed to add glow to. Okay guys, so moving on, okay guys, so moving over to the lips now. So I'm using a light brown lip stain to outline the borders of her lips. So in this case, I'm overlining her lips because like she has a very small tiny lips, so I'm overlining because I want it to pop and come out. So I can't really like line just normal lining of the lips. She have a very small lip, so I would want that to really come out huge a bit. Okay guys, so that is it. I'm just outlining the lips with the shade I had. I think I mixed different colors to get this because I was trying my best not to, you know, I don't want it to be dark, the borders of the lips. I didn't want it to be dark, so I don't know. So you see, like you can see where I mix it at the back of my hand. So I mix different colors to get that. So I don't know what is wrong with me, but like I used to mix a lot of things when I'm doing makeup. Like I don't know why. I just guess that probably one day, even if I have that particular shade, I would rather I mix it to get it. Like I don't know, but so help me God. Okay guys, so I did that. Then after doing the outlining, I'm going to be blending out before I add something else on the lips. Okay guys, so after that I'm going to be adding the is a very light pink, very light pink shade on the lips, you know. So I added it there, then I'm blending it into the light brown that I had. You know, I'm trying my best to make sure that they mix very well. I don't want to see demarcation from the light brown, like it's have to like add like as a shield to it, but even at that I still don't want to be seeing the light brown, you know. That's what I want for the lips. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be blending it out, like I said, blending the two of them together to make sure I get what I want. Okay, so I'm just blending the borders of the lips, doing this and that to get what I want. Okay guys, so after that I added a very light shade as well. Is in, I think, a nude shade in the inner, you know, in the center of the lips, at the center of the lips. I added it there, and then I have to blend. Okay guys, so after doing that, I'm going to be using my lip gloss to gloss her lips, and glossing these lips, you know, made it look so nice and beautiful, guys, apparently. So after doing that, I'm going to be getting my settings, no, the fix spray now, not the setting spray anymore. So I'm going to be using the fix spray to, you know, lock in everything I've done on the face, you know. So the fix spray does it for me. And after doing that, I'm going to be setting that. I'm going to be using the hand fan to, you know, set it at a place. Okay guys, so having done that, I'm going to practically tell you that this is the end of the video. This is the final look after we did everything. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.